Let me invite Bobby here, and we will attempt to make heads or tails of all of this. Let's see. Okay. Then we'll text him as well. Yeah, I usually try to not I don't try to, but where's my chat? Fridays are usually, I don't make it live, but today I was able to. And as they like to say, I mean, today's the day I probably should have stayed in bed. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that that we just have to wait on, and news just comes across literally every 30 seconds. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So as I was mentioning, I mean, not that it's worth anything, but I did update projections as of what I had of now. It's better than from 5 hours ago. That's something at least. But you're gonna have to just continue to watch the news compile in, and if you're gonna play tonight, just do your best to adapt to it. It's rough. That's the best I can describe it. It's just literally news coming in every 5 minutes, and it's all somewhat relevant, and you're just gonna have to keep on waiting. What's the last thing I saw? Okay, Gary Harris available.
Pretty irrelevant.
Nick Okongu is available, the backup.
Pretty irrelevant stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of like going through this.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to correct you. I'm just saying that's my thoughts because I know people are going to ask, and I'll be out of here in a half hour. So drop in questions and thoughts real quickly, guys, because I got too many lineups going today and it's going to be stressful. So
all right. So Reeves is in protocol now. Dunbar. Okay, that's good to know.
I don't have that officially. Is that official?
Hey, if it's in my chat, it's official, right? Right,
okay.
Dunbar?
I hope so. I believe it, but I just wanted to make sure.
They're signing Isaiah Thomas hardship exception. Okay, he's available and will wear number 31 and will not have a salary.
Yep. What do we do about if?
Okay, I'm going to ask something useful that's relevant to me. What do you think? I'm just going to throw a name out there. What do you think of PJ Tucker?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, his price is fine. It's the first game, so I'm not going to try and target anybody in the first game.
Okay.
I'll play a little bit of Okiki, but I don't think I mean, PJ Tucker, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's just not how I would build.
Let me ask you another question. Do you have anybody at power forward around 4,500 or no?
I'd rather play Okiki. I'd rather play Metu. I'd rather play all those guys. But
okay.
I mean, it's fine. He's had some good games lately, and sure, it's just feels like the wrong kind of play to make on this kind of a slate. But we've seen him put up big games. We went through that before. But if he makes 80% of his threes again, yeah, great. So be it, I guess.
Okay. The guy that right now, I mean, again, I don't even want him going into right now, but right now on DraftKings, the guy I have 100%. I have 100% of one guy, and I have 95% of a second guy. Anybody want to guess? How about that? Anybody want to guess who I have 100% of?
Cousins.
Cousins is the 95%.
100%. Halliburton, if he plays, or Hield would be the guys.
Close though. Yeah, Buddy Hield right now.
Yeah. I think if Halliburton plays, he's the better play. But I do think obviously they're both great plays.
I have them both.
Yeah. I do think you want to try to late stack the games if you can, even though the Lakers just came through. I'm still playing Davis in some lineups, and I'm still playing LeBron in some lineups. I think Jason Tatum gets a big boost with the Schroeder news. Now that they priced him back into his price when Brown plays. I think Marcus Smart is a sneaky play, but again, earlier games would rather wait till the 8 o'clock games to try and get heavy exposure outside of maybe Jokic and a little bit of Okiki. That's where I'm at personally.
Yeah.
And Robert Williams, I think, is a viable. Like, I'd rather play Robert Williams than I would PJ Tucker.
Okay.
On speculation, PJ Tucker will project better, but I don't know if we're in that world where PJ Tucker's always going to be putting up 30+ fantasy points for a team that's got other bodies. And in some of those games where he did, I just need to double check this, but Dedmon was out in a couple of those games, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I believe he was. Yeah, let's see. Wait, Dedmon. Well, actually, Dedmon played actually some of them. Huh. I mean, yeah. I guess if you wanted the PJ Tucker thing, I was so not ready for that because I didn't even literally. I've gone through a bunch of lineups today and I just haven't considered him. Which again, his ownership is going to be lower than 20%, so it's okay. But I just think there's other guys. Robin Lopez is the one who's screaming in terms of. I want to play Michael Mulder instead, partially because of position eligibility, but I don't know, man. It feels wrong to play Robin Lopez too, but he's 3,100, and I don't know. It's a tough decision here.
Are you still getting to any Whiteside?
I forced him into a couple builds, but I can't have him in one of my main builds anymore. It just doesn't make enough sense.
Right.
Hopefully Cousins won't end up starting and we can still play him. That's my thought. At lower ownership, hopefully, because I think he's going to be really high owned, as you pointed out earlier.
Yeah. Let me see.
But I don't even have him projected as starting. I mean,
I don't have him confirmed as starting, but I have him projected as starting. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I don't have him projected as starting. That's the weird part. But it would make sense if they would start.
I mean, his projection indicates to me that he's starting.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm looking at a couple different projection. NBA.com doesn't have him as projected starter, neither does Roto Grinders.
Right, but I'm just saying that if he's going to project for 28 fantasy points, it's probably because he's starting. I mean, so they're presuming he's starting. No? Okay.
I mean, it's on Roto Grinders, he's the highest point per dollar value, and they don't have him starting.
Right. Oh, okay.
So he could still play 20+ minutes in this game, whether he starts or not. And if he doesn't start and it's official, then you might see people switch off a little bit. What's up, Rashad? Thanks, buddy. Brown viable on field with no Dennis, or just get off Holiday and play Middleton. Well, play Middleton anyway. But Middleton, I think, is the preferred option for me. But I think Jaylen Brown is viable, absolutely. Absolutely. I just had same question coming in about him. 100% Whiteside. I'm not going to be 100%. I took him out of my big buy and just explained that one. PJ Tucker, we just answered that one. I'm not interested in PJ Tucker, but if you guys want to do it, go ahead. If it was a later game, I absolutely would take a shot there and be ready to pivot because I don't like that kind of play in general for big slates. But I think he is. I mean, just in a vacuum, he's fine. It's just he could play 36 minutes and put up 5 fantasy points.
Right.
Let's see. Cousins, a trap. Not a trap based on his entire history. If he gets 20+ minutes, now him getting 20+ minutes is the question. So I don't have Cousins locked in or anything like that, but I do have him at like 60% right now. I probably will less than that a little bit. I can switch a little bit of that just to change exposures, and you probably have more of a minutes upside with Robin Lopez and a much lower productive player. So that would be the way to get off of that, in my opinion. If you want to go price for price, or you could pay a little bit extra up for Thompson. I mean, and then there's all the other big centers that I like. Jokic, I like Karl Anthony Towns. I like Joe Val a lot. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My other own guys, like I've got a bunch of D'Angelo Russell. Got a bunch of Tatum, as I mentioned. Tons of Halliburton, tons of Hield. I have Brandon Ingram in some places as a run back in the Milwaukee game. I have a ton of Middleton at 80%. I might even be closer to that. If factoring by dollar, I think it's probably higher than that. Grayson Allen, I still have a 40% of. I don't think anybody's going to want to play him as much. And he just missed a lot of shots the other day, and he's 4K. So I would rather take that shot on him and just, thinking he's going to play better. Like it was just a really bad game for him. And without Giannis, I think he still gets Giannis and Portis. He gets enough of a boost.
You like Nikola Jokic?
Yep.
Yeah.
30. I have 35%. Not nothing out of control.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I prefer Metu over Okiki. But you have to worry that Metu. I mean, there's a non-0% chance that game gets canceled.
Yep.
I think it's actually reasonable chance to be with you.
What do they have? How many people do they have?
8.
8's not a lot.
And 3 are questionable. So
oh wow! They get projections. You get projections to all these guys that got called up. The Hassani Gravett and the Admiral Schofield and the BJ Johnson.
So they are gonna. They may actually have a few more bodies than we think, because they did call somebody. They did call that one guy up today, and that makes it look like that maybe they can find a way to field the team, because they do have 10 guys now, where it was really like a half hour ago on NBA.com. In terms of
Robert Woodard II on Sacramento.
Yeah.
Jameis Ramsey.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been a few years since you had the 6 figures on Mo Harkless, right?
Yeah, but there's no reason to do that.
No.
No.
Okay, I'm just.
If he's
just
starting,
saying.
sure. Yeah, no, I know. I'm just throwing it out there. I just think that it's. I mean, it's the epitome of like it's like the worst Robin Lopez play. Like he played his last games, he's 20 minutes. He hasn't. In the last games that he played 20 minutes, he hasn't gone over. He hit 20 fantasy points on the 2nd of November in 30 minutes. And other than that, in 20 plus minutes when he's played, and I've only kind of projected at 24. He hasn't hit 10 in his last 2 games. Like he played 22 minutes the other night, had 3 fantasy points. I know it's a good matchup, but like those were different days, man. Those are different types of slates. You need those kind of guys.
Right.
This is not one of those slates. I think I wish Wagner was a little cheaper, because I think taking a shot on him and hoping that game stays close would be one of my early things. And same thing with Wendell Carter. I'm not doing the Wendell Carter thing. Other people are going to do it, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not going to do it.
I'll tell you right now, like in my main buy-in, I have two players that are starting before 10 o'clock.
There you go.
I mean, and it doesn't. And it won't take a genius to figure out which those 2 players are.
Yeah, Holiday and Middleton.
No, neither.
Or
actually,
at least Middleton.
Right now, it's Cousins.
Not Middleton.
It's Cousins and Lowry
okay.
right now. Yeah. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to play Middleton in the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of.
I'd be shocked if Middleton doesn't. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of good plays, and he's going to be owned. But I'd be really shocked if he doesn't put a 40 or more.
I mean, I've got 55% of him. You know what I mean? It's not like.
Yeah. I got you. It's not in the. Yeah, yeah. Same here. I had to go out of my way to try to fade him some places.
Yeah.
All this Sacramento stuff makes me. I do have a lot of Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
I want run backs in that game, because I'm playing as much as 4 games. So he's a good run back. Bain is a good run back, and Dylan Brooks is a good run back. And Brooks and partly they all have foul trouble risk, so that makes like everybody in their team would normally be in play, but we just don't want to get crazy with spreading out on fairly thin plays. Like I also like Jaren Jackson because he's the same exact price as Chris Middleton, and you can play them both together. It's going to make Jaren Jackson ownership much lower than I think it should be. And on most slates, at Jaren Jackson 3.7 here, I think would be like 35% owned. I really do. I mean, he was the other day on FanDuel, 60% on a big slate at 6,400. And today it's getting sort of pushed aside. He's another one I expect to get over 40 tonight.
I'm pretty sure that whatever my big buy-in is, it's not going to be the same thing when it comes 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't imagine.
Nick Dunbar, I just went through all the plays I had in the ownership. So that's the priorities for me. The priorities are Milwaukee and Sacramento. I don't really know how else to phrase it. That's what you're aiming for. I said my personal spend up. I like Jokic. I prefer Middleton to Holiday, but I like both of them. I like Joe Val. Another spend up. I like Anthony Davis. I like Karl Anthony Towns. I like LeBron a little. Those are the guys who I'm spending for. Oh, and Jason Tatum.
I'll tell you a guy you left out of. Maybe you didn't leave it out of that thing that we talked about earlier. Who I'm still on is Lillard.
Love the Lillard idea too. I did just throw Lillard in some lineups there. Good pivot. Like if you think about it, like from a logical standpoint, why am I playing Anthony Davis so much when I could play Lillard at the same price with the way that Davis has been going? At the same time, I really like Davis in this matchup. But it's a good way to look at it, and I think that you're getting, some stuff. Part of the reason for me playing Davis too is I have a nice easy run back there. You know what I mean? Like I can feel really good about going out and playing Russell or Cat without Edwards. Right. So that's partly why I'm doing that. But Buddy Hield is a tough one to fade tonight. I mean, the thing is, he's so shooting reliant that at the ownership, it does make me feel a little bit like maybe I can kind of find a way to avoid it. But I still just doesn't feel right quite,
And don't forget to play. Not I say don't forget to play them, but don't forget about they won't. But don't forget about Harrison Barnes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in. He's my fourth one or fifth one, depending on which lineup it is.
Right. And, obviously, just, keep an eye on the Halliburton, make sure he's playing or not. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. I think the Robert Williams play could end up being a big payoff. I also think he could get played off the court. So there's a risk in there, but that's fine. Like I think that's a really clever play that people aren't looking at, of a guy who can get you like 10x, but not one of the main names. And yeah, maybe you could make that argument, but think about PJ Tucker versus Robert Williams for a second. Like I know they're different positions and center is stronger and all that stuff, but really, like I know PJ Tucker, we saw the ceiling and we've seen a few of those things. I mean, we've seen Robert Williams without these guys put up like 60, and he has a matchup against a team without bigs. Could get played off the court. Maybe has higher variance, but is going to be lower owned and has a much higher ceiling than PJ Tucker does.
Yeah, I'm not going to play PJ Tucker.
As I'm saying this, I already can just envision the PJ Tucker 40 fantasy point game right in front of me. I can see it right now. He ends up with like a double with like 5 assists and it's like 5 threes. That's scaring me just to say no, but I'm saying no.
Oh, this, what's his name? STO Cards has a couple of cool Twitter polls. He's asking, over the next 4 weeks, will the NFL completely shut down for at least 1 week as a result of COVID? And the same poll for NBA and the same poll for hockey. I'm going to say no for all three.
I think they know that they can't shut it down. Like it's too big of a thing, but you never know though. Like if you start diminishing the product enough, people will get upset. But will letting it a week really make a difference?
Yeah, what's interesting is that I'm looking at the results, and they tell you a decent sample, like 100, that 50, it's 50-50 people are saying for the NBA. And then for hockey, they're saying 60% no, and for the NFL, they're saying 80%
no. Yeah, that sounds about right. If there was one, it would be the NBA.
Yeah.
Here's what I can do. I think I just found my answer here, how I can Lopez, Joval.
So since I'm not going to see you guys over the weekend, I want to talk through this with everybody. This is why survivor pools are a complete skill game. You know, it's really, really tricky. And especially with the COVID thing, it created some really, really unique situations. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd originally planned I was going to be taking Arizona this week. And what that would be doing is putting me on a forced play on Christmas of San Francisco, okay, which is fine because I have to pick one of three games. I have to pick the San Francisco Tennessee game, the Zona Indianapolis game, or the Cleveland Green Bay game, which I don't have available. So I have to play either Zona or San Francisco. Now, even though Zona is going to be a bigger favorite, Zona is going to be really highly owned. San Francisco's have incredible leverage. And I'm totally content with taking San Francisco there. And I was going to play Zona this week because this weekend's Zona is going to be actually really low owned, despite them being the top point spread play, because people that have them available are going to be saving them for Christmas, like as I was just saying, right? So I was going to be zigging everybody, saying totally chill, totally fine. But then what happened was they announced that Taylor Heineke was going to be out for Washington, as well as Kyle Allen and all this stuff, which basically raised Philadelphia up to 13. And what Philadelphia does for me, allowing me to save Zona, is I could push Zona back to like week 18 because I'm going to need something in week 18, or even give me an option for 16, whatever it is. So that was actually a pretty big bailout for me, thinking that I was going to be able to get Philadelphia as an option. But now what happens is, once they postponed those games back to Tuesday, it gave the Redskins a chance to get everybody back to healthy. So the line on Philly-Washington became back down to 8. Okay, so now I'm back to that original decision between playing Zona now or doing something like playing Miami now and saving Zona. And here are some of the things. Now, again, I talk through this all day long, so it's going to go really fast for everybody else. But so Miami, unfortunately, is going to be really, really highly owned this week. So Zona is incredible leverage over them, so I want to play them. But then what happens is this. If I play Zona this week, then I'm forced into San Francisco next week, which is fine. However, now the NFL has decided that what they can do is delay games and push them back or whatever. It's a really screwed up situation, because if I have only San Francisco available, fine, I'll live with it. But if they, for some reason, decide that they want to push the San Francisco-Tennessee game back like 2 days, and this is really gross, you actually get credited for a loss on the rules of Survivor. So basically, if I resign myself to taking San Francisco, which I do want to do, if San Francisco or Tennessee gets COVID enough that they even postpone the game for 2 days, which is certainly within their, you know what I mean? Like, instead of playing Thursday, go ahead, play Saturday or Sunday. According to the rules of the pool, those games are canceled and you lose. And I have no other options beside that. So that's a big freaking, it normally was like enough of a risk to take. But now that actually they've set this precedent where, okay, Redskins say that they can't really put out a great team without us giving this postponement, the NFL said, okay, we're going to postpone this for you guys. Like, we're going to postpone it for Cleveland, like we're going to postpone it for the Rams. Can you just imagine, like, if Ryan Tannehill even just goes into COVID protocols, they're going to say, well, you did this for these other teams. Give us a couple of days. They could postpone these 2 days, and I'm out. So it's a really, really tough decision now whether I want to play a chalky Miami team and save myself, the flexibility of having Zona available for 16 and 18, or playing a really highly leveraged Zona team this week, but leaving me with only a San Francisco option next week at the prisoner of COVID protocols. So it is, as they say, hashtag it's rough out there.
Long story short, it's rough out there.
Yeah,
Certainly is. It's an understatement. It's man, I don't even know. That's a lot of stuff going on over there. It's just, I don't even know what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
It's a weird spot.
It closes at 4. The pools lock at 4 tomorrow, and I will make sure to post it. So we have until then to like kind of gauge the news and see what's going on. And then like all this other news comes in, because so now on the Zona side you have James Conner now questionable, right? But yet on the other hand you have DeAndre Swift ruled out for Detroit, and Hawkinson is going for the season. So I mean, like, it's not like I'm afraid of the Zona losing here necessarily. It's not just even about that. It's about what it does to the rest of your ticket for the rest.
Right.
And what makes Miami, well, like a couple of days ago, I was worried about their running backs. Gaskin's fully cleared and he's going to start. You know what I mean? And that's like huge.
Right.
Yet on the other hand, Waddle is in COVID protocol. so it's and we don't know for sure what he's doing. So it's it's a lot of variance. It's not survivor pools. As look, for those of you who've been following along, watching the videos, it's not just let's pick the biggest favorite to see what happens. There's a lot of freaking planning involved and a lot of variations. And COVID doesn't make it any easier. All right.
Nope.
What do we got? Jordan. Someone's asking about Jordan Clarkson.
Any Golden State love? Look, if you want to take a shot on Damian Lee, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I am not particularly doing it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Do I like Lowry with Hero out? I do. I like Lowry on both sites. I think he's a terrific pivot off of Drew Holiday, and I don't think there's any reason why we should expect Drew Holiday to have as much a higher projection than Lowry as he does. Now, there is some concern about that game staying close. So one of my bets of the day was that Miami would cover this spread. Lowry doesn't put up big games in those situations always because it's Duncan Robinson gets hot, Gabe Vincent gets hot. I guess PJ Tucker and Max Struss and guys like that. But I do think that Lowry is. I mean, he's a good play. He's going to be owned anyway, but he's not going to be owned as much as Holiday, I don't think. Let's see. That answers the Lowry question. The arm is doing much better, but still a little funky. But thank you for asking. I'm gonna wait to see until tomorrow if I have to go to the doctor tomorrow and get the X-rays and all that stuff. Jordan Clarkson love. I think it's a little thin on this slate with all the other stuff that's opened up, but I think it's always a possibility he could go off. But what does going off mean? He could play great and score 20 real life points and get you 30, which you'd be happy with at 4,500. But I think there's just other guys who I think make more sense. Like, I mean, he's 600 less than Buddy Hield, who's going to get the minutes he can handle and, a great matchup and all that stuff. A little worried that Memphis takes advantage of this depleted Sacramento team and beats the hell out of them. They can do that. They have that it's in the cards. That's a possibility. And I like some other decision points you might make. Metu versus Okiki. I think Metu is the better play. Okiki's in an earlier game. That's partly why I like Metu better. Metu is also questionable, so we have to take that into account. Make sure you're playing multiple later game guys if you're going to play. Like, don't just play Metu as your 1:10 p.m. guy. In fact, overall on this slate, I think you really do want to be playing the later guys and with a couple guys earlier. I don't think you want to be going with more than 3 or 4. Four would probably be the maximum from the earlier than 10 o'clock games that I would go. Maybe I might end up one with 5 or something.
Yeah, I have to. Okay, I'm doing this here. Yeah, it's a little scary that no news is coming in the last 10 minutes.
I don't know what to do with myself.
I guess everybody's out. I mean, there's no one else that's no one else. There's no more news that can come in.
There's going to be news to come in after lock. I promise you that. I mean, the starting lineups alone are going to be news on their own. The Magic has changed. I was going to play Michael Mulder everywhere. Now I will have. What? Wait a minute. Is Mulder? No, he's not out. I was going to. I still think he's a legitimate play, but if he was starting, I would have absolutely played him over Robin Lopez.
Okay.
Boy, Robin Lopez, huh? On this slate. Ugh. What is the world coming to?
I can't do that. I mean, can you really do that?
I mean, think about it. He's a pivot off of Cousins, and he's going to play minutes, and we don't know how many Cousins is going to play. So, as a lower owned option, I think he does actually fit in. Like, he's still going to be owned, but he won't be owned.
Better than Whiteside?
Well, again, you get into the minutes thing. Whiteside might play 12 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Lopez may play 30. And it would be hard for me to see a path where Lopez doesn't play 28, 26 the minimum, I guess, whereas the other guys can play 12.
Yeah.
But I still love the White. Look, I have 15% Whiteside. It's just not in my big buy-in stuff.
Okay.
any Rondo or Melo love. If Rondo's starting, I will absolutely take the Rondo shot. I'm in on that. If he's not, I don't see why he would start, and I don't see why he would play enough. But yeah, with Westbrook in, I don't know what we've been talking about with Rondo. That's not really a factor.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Hero officially out, which we knew was going to happen. I think I have to run and finish building my lineups. Is there any other questions before we get out of here? Because I'll be in Discord.
Yeah, I'll hang for a few minutes. I'm just kind of updating my hockey stuff and waiting for a little more news to trickle in. So I'm not really going anywhere right now.
Yeah. I'll actually go further to say this with Rondo and Melo. If you play Rajon Rondo or Carmelo Anthony on the slate, I don't care what the results are. I don't care what ends up happening. I mean, I honestly am shocked by the projection for Rondo to play as many minutes as they do, because we lost Reeves. I guess. I mean, are they really going to put Rondo and Westbrook in the backcourt for that much together? I guess he's viable. I do think he's viable, but I think it should be treated as a very, very long shot play. Because Monk and Reeves are out, but he doesn't need to be the other shooting guard. You play Ellington. I guess Carmelo could get it. I mean, there's boost. These guys are fine. Like on normal slates, the numbers actually look like they make sense, but I just can't see myself doing that. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should get a Rondo lineup in there. I just can't see doing it with Westbrook in there. Like he's projected to play that many minutes with Westbrook. Like right now he's going to play 14 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes with Westbrook. I don't see the Lakers trying to make that mistake again. We saw what happened early in the season with that. It's not a good look.
Right.
I am curious who the Lakers end up starting, though, because I'm pretty sure they'll just go back to the Ellington thing with Jordan at center, because you need to have some body to match up with Towns. And again, on another slate, I'd be talking about DeAndre Jordan as a potential play, but it's just hard to get there on these slates. Maybe you can make it. You can make the same argument for Jordan that you can for all these other 3K guys. There's no reason he couldn't outscore them. Obviously, Cousins is the best. Lopez has enough upside to get there. But I don't know if I need to even do that. So I'm still trying to figure this one out. I need starting lineups. It's really helpful if I can see how that's going to run. It is the kind of game where I would normally want to play Rondo. You've got a fast pace. You've got guys he's familiar with on the other side, like Beverly. You've got an actually televised game. And we've seen him go nuts in these spots before. It's just hard to see how he's going to do it with all those guys there.
Yeah.
Watch like AD and Westbrook or something get hurt in the first quarter, and Rondo puts up like 50 or 60. That's like
right. Yes.
I'm guessing even for you on the projections that Robin Lopez must be showing up pretty high.
I'll look in a second. He really wasn't, but I'm gonna look in a minute.
Well, it's very recent that I think they updated the projections.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't starting.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't projected to start.
Yeah, I gotta change my hockey for a second.
Yeah,
so that's the only thing. That's the only thing I have a chance to win tonight, so it's fine.
Yeah, RG, for what it's worth, has Robin Lopez a half a point lower than DeMarcus Cousins for the best point per dollar on the slate. And they have PJ Tucker fourth. So, look, I'm going to feel bad about it. Keep PJ Tucker in some lineups, guys. Like, I'm not going to do it, but I'm not saying that there's no way this guy can get there. He's 3,500. He's going to play 1 million minutes. That's what we want. But I don't know. I'm just finding other builds. Like, I like the Metu upside. I like I think I even like just Okiki better than him. Similar thing with minutes and same low production, low usage, but the minutes are going to be there for both of them. Any Tristan Thompson? I do have some Tristan Thompson. I like that because I think Tristan Thompson can get like 15 runs in this game. Ellington, nope. McDaniels, nope. Langford, nope. If Ellington makes playing Ellington tonight would be a waste of him because you're playing him for the night where he gets hot and makes 6 or 7 threes. That's really all you're playing him for. He's not going to do anything else on the court. He's going to stand in the corner and get open shots. Middleton out. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta run, guys, and edit some lineups. We're gonna have to play the rest of these Bucks again and stack the hell out of that game. Maybe even as a priority, a little bit above some of the Sacramento stuff. Not all of it, but some of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have it official, but it looks like these guys are they're always on it. That's really a big deal. So Holiday, Grayson Allen, play some Jordan Nwora, play Cousins.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I would do. All right.
So
Good luck to everybody. I got to run.
I'll hang out for a little bit. I'm just not going to really be able to answer too many questions. I mean, I'm just going to be trying to update projections along the way. I'll just share whatever thing I can come up with between now and 7 o'clock when I really do have to run. Yeah, so having no Middleton makes, so now the Connaughtons are going to come back into play. I don't even really want to speculate who's going to come into play. I'm going to wait for the projections to update. And wow, these guys are good. They already have him out. That's sick. Okay, let's see. So these guys have Drew at only 36 fantasy points. That can't be right. So I'm going to wait like 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then go ahead and change it. Let's see, any questions I have on here? I mean, unfortunately, it's just not, I just can't help you right now. I mean, I just have to wait to see who I'll end up taking in the Milwaukee game. I want to see who's starting there. I want to see who's starting in the Cousins game. I'd like to play Cousins, but only if he's starting. I know Bobby said he's going to be good if he's coming off the bench, but I just don't need a full-on Cousins comes in for 6 minutes and then they play small the rest of the game type of thing, because he can't guard Joe Val at all. So that's definitely something I want to consider. But the first thing I want to do, just in case I forget, is I do want to get my Middleton lineups. Everybody with Middleton I want out at least. So let's at least X the Middleton out. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to X Middleton out, and this way at least I can change my lineups. So in case I just forget or whatever it is, unless I lose my connections, at least I'll have no Middleton. That's the first thing I can do, even if I don't know exactly who I'm going to replace him with. It's kind of like DFS 101, I suppose. So let's get Middleton out of these. Boom. I am going to be changing these, but at least Middleton's going to be out. Okay. Nice day, sir. And I'll do the same thing with the FanDuels. Let me just make sure I have no Middleton. Look at all of these freaking questionables. All right, no Middleton. Good. All right, now let me do the same thing with FanDuel. I don't think did I have any FanDuel? I may have. As far as Middleton's. Let me go back to it just in case. Well, I'm sure I had to have some. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so let's get rid of Middleton. All right, so let's get rid of the Middletons. Middleton out. All right, so we get rid of him. Boom. And then we will swap these for that. And then, so what are we gotta think about Jordan Nwora and all of that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna change that. I still like Lillard, by the way, in that late game. Okay. We'll check out some more news. I'll check out some news in a second. Let me see what else I got. Let's see. Just the Middleton out. Let me see what else I have in my other server. No, that's under True DFS. Let me look at this other one. Lonnie Walker will be available. Chris Middleton is out. Okay. And okay, so at least all these guys look like they're playing. That's good news. All right, let's see. So I just have to wait on this some of these Milwaukee things. You'd think that, well, I shouldn't say you'd think they'd have that prepared, because that's something it's tough to prepare. And I don't even know who the starters are for Milwaukee in any way. So I think that's a situation where I'm just supposed to wait, you know? And unfortunately, that's not going to help you guys out that much, but it's something that I think I have to do, is have to wait to see what happens, who they announce starting. And that might not happen until like 7:30. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm only going to play, I think, Lowry from the early games, and I'm going to have to pass on the Golden States. And I actually do have a decent amount of. Do I have that much Tatum? Let me just see. No, not really. I do have 30% of Tatum, so I'm going to have to live with that. But I think that's okay. I mean, if I like him, So I have to see what happens with this Milwaukee thing, because I can't fade that whole game, obviously. I'm going to have to play somebody from there. I just don't know who it's going to be quite yet. Let me just see right now. Let me try to get an update on Milwaukee. I don't think I'm going to get one, but let's go back here. Let me just see something. Yeah, they're always starting to come in. The Sandro is coming in. Grayson Allen. It looks like George Hill, they're giving some love to. So I am going to, just for funsies, I am going to update, at least as of 6:45, with what I have. It beats nothing, right? Or does it? Yeah, it has to be better than nothing. So we're going to do this. We're going to do at least a partial Milwaukee update. Again, we're not going to have Cousins, but we actually don't even know exactly who's starting in this game either. But again, it's better than nothing. All right, let's go. We'll run a confidence level of 3, sorry. And one day I'll explain that. Where else can I go? Let me try this one. Boom. No, that's not going to work. It looks as though, let's see. Can't quite do that one. Let me see. I'll pull from like 4 sources. How about that? That'll give us an okay confidence level. Wow, everything's getting really. It's like the system is almost breaking. This is really weird. Let me see, projections. I want to put something out for you guys before 7, even though I'm going to have to change it. Let me just see, value. Lopez, Heal, Nuara, Thompson, Okiki. All right, let's put that in, I guess. Oh, this is going to be nuts. This is really going to be nuts. But I'll tell you this, if anybody wins this, if you win this slate tonight, I mean, you should get like a freaking bonus. You know what I mean? I mean, this is like such a tough slate. Okay, well, that's a little ridiculous. Okay. 43. Let's see, what does this get you? Drew Holiday. I don't know about this Robin Lopez business, but we'll incorporate it and we'll see what it does. I just don't see a world where I play Robin Lopez, but yeah, you know what? It could be. I didn't think I'd see a world where people get ruled out for freaking COVID every 5 seconds. So let's see. All right. Let's try this. That's not going to work. No. So 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 3, 4. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to have to probably wait on some of this. Okay. Got to take care of my hockey. That's done. NFL. I did something for the 2-game slate tomorrow, which just doesn't exist anymore, which is fun. All right, so I have to run this for myself, and then I will. NBA. Let's see something. Let's see if this helps. NBA DK. No, this really doesn't help too much. Okay. So I have to run it again in a few minutes. Sorry about that. Bring this here. I have to wait. I'll wait 5 more minutes, then I'll try one more time. That's literally the best I can do to update the projections and my takes. I just don't have anything else for you right now. Let me just. I'll run an optimal. I'll let you know if new guys come up. That I can do. I just can't update the projections right now. Okay. All right, that's strong. Cousins. Yeah, Lopez is showing up. Well, this stinks. I don't want to do that. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I guess Drew has got to be a good play, right? Keep on not getting that much Drew Holiday, which is a little, which is sort of off-putting to say the least. I know I am. Oops, my bad. Getting all this Nora now also. This is a little nuts. And how much Lowry am I getting now? Not much, because now it's all going on Holiday, right? Yep, that's the way it is. And I've tried to do stuff like fade Holloway, Drew Holiday in situations like this. It just never works. I mean, it seems like such a good idea because he's going to be so high owned. He's just going to play freaking 40 minutes with all the usage. I mean, it's just so hard to fade that. And even if he doesn't play 40 minutes, even if it's like a blowout and he plays 30 minutes, it's still just very, very difficult to fade. Right, let me see how much of this Robin Lopez character I got. I don't think I got any of him, right? No, I didn't get any freaking Robin Lopez. No Robin Lopez for me. But I am getting this Wendell Carter and this Okiki thing. Yikes. All right. Let me run one more with FanDuel. Did I run a FanDuel already? No, I didn't even run it yet. Okay, I got to do that. FanDuel. All right. I'll give one more shot for projections in like 5 minutes. And then other than that, I'm just going to have to leave you guys to your own devices. And what I have left. All right, let's see. Yeah, so that's my last thing on DraftKings, that I don't have Lowry because it just got me all the Drew Holiday. Okay, so now when I rerun this on FanDuel, am I not going to have 100% Lowry anymore? Probably not. I'll probably have Drew Holiday again, right? Not really, actually. I'm getting Franz Wagner. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And I am still getting the Lowry. Okay, so let's do this. So this was the old FanDuel. Okay, this is the new FanDuel. Okay, so Franz Wagner, that's new, right? That'd be interesting, right? Getting a bunch of the Nowara, including in the big one. Fun. I'll try one more time, and then that'll be it, unfortunately, for me. Let me see, do I still have the 100% Lowry? Probably, right? Yeah. And Drew Holiday, by the way. Right, let me just see if I can't get one more attempt to update this. Just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. Good luck. I apologize. I couldn't do better for you tonight, but I did the best that I could. Let me see what I got. Tristan Thompson, sure. I don't have any of those guys, DFS Wolfpack that you mentioned. You know, Ellington, McDaniels, Langford. I'm sure they're all good plays. I just not getting them. I refer to the sheets and the projections for what kind of plays they are. And I'm gonna do my best to get the honest doubtful. I'm gonna do my best to get projections updated, but it's gonna be difficult. I'm just gonna have to say it's gonna be hard enough for me to remember to do my lineups. So listen, so I enjoy the weekend. It's just gonna be the one game tomorrow in the NFL. Just gonna be a showdown slate. I'll probably just update that to reflect that it's a showdown slate in the projections. With the I guess they're gonna change the. They're gonna do something, right? You're gonna make that a showdown slate. They'll probably do salaries. Let me just see. What are they gonna do for the NFL for tomorrow? Yeah, they're gonna do a showdown slate, right? Yeah, Saturday Night Showdown. And new salaries? Yeah, new salaries. Very good. Oh, Jonathan Taylor, 12-8. Okay. Okay. So we'll run that one. And then big MMA, a good MMA slate, last one of the year tomorrow. Hopefully that all those fighters show up to fight. There'll be basketball, I think. And then NFL Sunday. I'll be there live, I think, with Bobby Sunday and Rhodey as well. I will be updating those projections Saturday night. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Good luck today. As I like to say, you're going to need it. Good job.